I have no idea if my audio's working. Let's just go Windows sound levels. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yo, yo, yo.
There you go.
What up, dog? What up,
What up,
dog?
Oh, you have the just getting over the vid brain, Ian.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, Ian is here with me in the sewing room. Everybody show him some love.
Hi, everyone.
He's, you want to tell them about your journey this week?
Oh my gosh. The brain fog has been no joke this weekend. It has been sucky.
Fuck!
But at least I'm negative. Yes, everyone, I did test negative. I'm not coming on camera because I look like really bad.
I think you've been living in that hoodie for about 5 days.
Yeah, probably. Probably. So yeah, definitely not coming on camera tonight, but I am negative, so feeling much better than I did. I think about a week ago was at the worst of it.
Yeah. And you said when we were talking a couple days ago, there was a day this week where you had a relapse.
Yeah, I kind of slid backwards a little bit. Yeah. It just seems to be the way, but I'm feeling much better and getting there. You'll probably hear me cough sometime tonight.
And we don't care. Oh, look at all the Vicky just
I
spammed you with
know.
the...
Yo, Patty G, it's so funny. Just a moment ago when I was like, yo, dog, I was like, yo, Patty G.
Is that where you were
That's
thinking?
where I was going, and I was like, why am I saying that? She's not here. Oh, wait, yes, she is.
Oh,
Never
there she
mind.
is. Surprise!
Never mind.
I am going to be working on a quilt tonight that I am starting. And so Ian's got his iPad on his lap. He is looking at the chat. And he's just going to kind of help me facilitate conversation. He'll be, if you have questions, tag him. He'll read them out. And we'll just have a little chatty choo-choo while we...
Chatty choo-choo.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Listen.
Chatty choo-choo.
I had a full day at work. I came home. And my butt went upstairs after dinner because I was like, okay, I'm going to go lay down and I'm just going to have a little rest. I went up at 6:30 my time and I was like, I can have an hour. And I literally sat there and I just rested. I didn't sleep. I really wanted to sleep, but puppies were having other ideas and they were being loud. And so I was just like, you know what? It wasn't meant to be. So I found a project online. I found a YouTube tutorial for the quilt project that we're going to be doing tonight.
Yay. Hi, Josh. Josh is in the house.
Josh! It does use a pattern, but I'm going to do it without a pattern. I'm going to show you how I'm making it up as I go without a pattern. So get your pen out if you want to write down the instructions for how this is going to go together. Mary, if you could help me by writing down the steps, just taking notes as we go.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary. And we'll put it in the description box afterwards and probably make a blog post for those that just want to follow along with it and have something to print out. I know you guys like to have your printables. Speaking of having your printables, tomorrow morning, block number 3 for my 2025 Quilt Along drops. The pattern is already on the website.
Already
on the website.
Is it already that? I feel like you just released the last one.
Well, February is the shortest month of the year, dear.
How many months have 28 days?
What? Well, 12. 12. Oh, no. You don't get to get me. No. You don't get to catch me.
I got you.
That's not how it works. As soon as those words came out of my mouth, I was like, oh, dear. And he's back, ladies and gentlemen. And he's back.
Funny. That was so funny because you're like, 12!
No, 12. Take it back. I gotta let you guys know. So I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute, but I like to kind of just chat and tell you about our week before I get into it. Because honestly, I'm starching right now and everybody starches. I'll tell you all this stuff in a moment. Or maybe everybody, I don't know.
Apparently, Josh has been starching his fabric because I know the next project that he's going to be working on.
Get it, Josh.
And he's been starching his fabric. And he said he is almost finished because it's taken him all week to starch the fabric.
Yes.
And after he starches the fabric, he's going to have to shampoo the carpets because the carpet is so starched.
I periodically have to replace my wool pressing mats because it gets so much starch in it. Although I do want
crispy.
Ooh, but you have no idea how crispy it can be, Ian.
True.
Verushka dunks her fabric into a liquid starch. It's 1 part liquid starch, 1 part water, and lets it sit in the bucket for 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And then pulls it out and lets it sit overnight. And I was like, okay, well, I press with Best Press, da 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 da. Okay, fine. And she was like, you guys, she was telling us this during her class. She was like, it's really going to make a difference. It's really going to add to it. And I was like, but really, is it much better than Best Press? And so I asked her, I was like, can I feel it? And she's like, yeah, you can come up here and feel the quilt. And so I was like, oh, okay, but that's not what I was looking for. So I went and touched the quilt that she already had pieced and quilted and probably not washed, but I couldn't tell what the body of the fabric looked like after the starch. And then somebody in the class said, go touch her scraps because those are hers.
Oh.
And I went, oh. So I took my Motabella solid and I went over to her Motabella solid, and it felt like thick paper versus cardstock.
Whoa.
Yes. So I am going to try that.
Yeah. I need to shout out Shelly Van, I think it's Psych. She says, hello, this is the first time I'm catching you live. TGIF.
Hey, Shelly. TGIF. Hey, Shelly.
And also, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Jonathan also said in the chat, Ian, I need to know your thoughts on Mayhem. Amazing.
Oh, what?
Lady Gaga's album dropped today.
Oh, did it
Her
finally?
newest-
Is that what
Yep.
you've been talking about for about 3 years?
Yep.
I can't wait for Lady Gaga's
tonight
album to
or
drop.
yesterday, not last night, and I have been listening to it all day long on repeat, and I love it. I love it.
I've been listening to a white noise machine in the background of all of my conference calls all day. I'll talk about that in a moment.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
But I do want to give Josh a shout out because our boy Joshy Poo, can I call you that? Because I just did. Josh had an episode on Breaking the Blocks drop
Yes, he
this week.
did.
And I listened to that podcast episode coming home from work yesterday. I got through, I had to put it, I was listening to it on 1.2 speed, which is normally what I listen to my podcast on. And I started getting into the drive and I realized it was an hour and 8 minutes. And so I needed to speed it up. And so for like the last 10 minutes of the drive, it was like 2x speed. I sounded like chipmunks. But I got through it.
It was a good episode. It was heartbreaking, but also like super inspiring.
Yeah.
And like it's just a great episode. And Rachel does such a great job on Breaking the Blocks of talking to people and bringing out their stories and like highlighting them. Love Rachel. She's awesome.
Will you do me a favor, Ian? Will you go get her YouTube channel link and drop it in the chat?
I will after I respond to Melissa, who says, Ian, did you get your firefighter fabric yet? No, I have not gotten it yet, Melissa. It should be here very soon, I think, but I haven't gotten it yet.
So if you guys are curious where to catch Rachel's podcast, Breaking the Blocks, it is, of course, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever you get your podcast. But she is also starting to release video versions of the same episodes on her YouTube channel. And she's really trying to grow her YouTube. So y'all go check that out and make sure that you give it a like, a subscribe, and check out Josh's episode. And then when you're done, you can check out Ian's episode. Yep. But check out Josh's first.
And then check out mine. Josh has kindly asked that you do not call him that.
I won't. I won't.
What was I? Breaking the Blocks is what I'm looking for, yes?
I gotta tell the people. Yes, Breaking the Blocks.
Yeah, I forgot for a moment what I was looking for. Yes, what did you need? What do you need to
Mary Jane
find?
Susan is asking, did Verushka tell you what brand of starch she uses?
Yes.
She did. She was using Staflo, but that has been discontinued, and so now she's using a different brand. It's called Linit, Linit, and you can get it on Amazon. The only problem with that is it's like $16 for a 64-ounce unit. It's still expensive. Somebody needs to bring Staflo back into business. Josh, I'm sorry that I called you that name. I won't call that you anymore. Okay, Joshua? Sorry.
What did Zaza say? Zaza said something and I missed it. Zaza always says something. Oh, I got Zaza says, I had great success with my vodka starch. Drank enough of it and everything looks great.
That's not how the starch is supposed to work, Zaza. Just saying.
I did post the Breaking the Blocks podcast playlist in the chat. So if you're in the chat right now, I just put it in there and I'll pop it in again momentarily.
That is if you want to bookmark that playlist for right now, I did pin it at the top of the chat so everybody can get to it. That's where she's putting all of her episodes. Her channel name right now is Crafty Monkeys.
Yep.
But it is pinned at the top of the chat if you want to check it out. I think she's thinking about rebranding that to be more in line with what the podcast is. So don't be surprised if you subscribe and it changes.
No worries. Josh, Joshua, and Joshi are approved.
Okay. Joshua. I love the name Joshua. Joshua. It's just fun to say. Oh, okay. All right, so let me tell you about why I was listening to white noise in my headphones all day today. So it's no secret anymore that I am a federal employee. And we all have to now work 5 days a week from the office. Yeah, there's that. Well, before the return to office executive order was signed, I got to work 2 days a week from home, 3 days a week from in the office, which was great. Those 3 days a week, I usually had broken up so that it was like every other day. I'd go in, stay home, go in, stay home, go in, stay home. It was quite lovely, honestly. I have, over the course of the past few years, gotten to the point where I have been spoiled at being able to talk to the people I need to talk to without distractions and interruptions. And now I'm back in the office, and God love her, but I sit around a bunch of chatty Cathys. And so while I'm been at work, I walk in, and the first thing I do is I sit down, I put my headset on. And they're not noise canceling headphones. They're just a basic headset. I can't bring that type of equipment into the office. I can't use it. I have to use what's provided. So I just put them on, and it muffled the noise a little bit for people that are speaking at normal level. But I do sit amongst some friends that I do like talking to, but sometimes they talk over top of me to the other side of the room. And that's fun. So I found a video on YouTube called White Noise Black Screen. And I have now bookmarked it in my bookmarks folder, and I come in and I hit that bookmark on my toolbar, and it starts playing like the white noise, and it drowns out all the background noise and it allows me to focus, which is great. But if I get on a conference call, I don't have that white noise. So now I'm competing for the voices on the conference call and the voices behind me and the voices across from me, and sometimes the voices that are right here. Until today. Did you know that you can hear two audio sources at the same time? Are you okay?
Yeah, I had a sneeze.
Oh.
That went away. I was making all kinds of faces. I was trying to look up at the light, because when you look at light, for some reason it activates the sneezes. I don't know why. So I was looking at the light because I was like, oh, I need to sneeze. And then it was like, but I'm also trying to listen to your story. Yeah. And I'm like, it went away. Dang it.
Well,
so you have two sources coming into your headphones.
Yeah, and I knew that you could do that. Yeah. I just never thought to problem solve that way. So I pulled up on my first meeting today because I needed to pay attention. I was briefing executives. There it goes. Oh, it's a cough.
Nope, cough.
It was a cough.
Yep.
I needed to brief executives, so I had to tune out the background noise because it distracts me. So I took the video and played it and just turned the video volume down to like 10%. It was like the white noise machines in the therapist office. It was perfect.
There you go.
So I found a solution. So that's why I was not listening to Lady Gaga, but I was listening to Static all day. So
Deb says you need my on-air light for your desk, so maybe they'll get the idea that you're busy.
no, I'm actively talking. I'm leading the meetings, and it's still happening. I can have my camera on, and it still happens. It's just the dynamic of being in the office, and sometimes like they're not even just sitting there chatting. They're not, most of the time they're not even socializing. They're having work conversations that
Yep.
need to happen.
Yep. Zaza, losing a sneeze is terrible because sneezes feel good. I don't know why, but like sneezing feels good.
It does.
Except for after having sinus surgery, but that's a different story. Losing it is even worse. And I just was like, dang it, I really wish it would have come back because I sniffed some pepper. Vicky, funny story about that. When I had my sinus surgery, because I've had 3 sinus surgeries, when I had my 3rd surgery, I like sprinkled pepper onto some corn.
Oh no.
And I was like, it hit me harder than ever before. And I was like, holy cow, is that what it's like? Like, wow, goodness. Robin is asking, where did you get your spray bottle from?
Amazon. And I think it's linked on my website under my stuff. If you want to go up and look in the menu, I think there's a FAQ and it has a link to it has the list out of everything that I have in my sewing room, and the links are there as well.
There you go.
I did see somebody asked in the chat, and I kind of sidestepped it, but it keeps popping back into my head. And so I'm just going to answer it and move on. The question was, you just need to prove that you're working, right? No, no, I have to work in the office regardless of whether I'm productive or not. I was very productive at home. I was definitely working more hours at home than I am in the office, but that's fine. So what am I sewing tonight? Great question, Julie, because I haven't talked about that, but we're going to do it right now. So I'm going to go to my 3 camera setup. I have pulled out 3 fabrics. I have this white, which you can't really tell on camera, but it is it's a tone-on-tone dot, so I'm going to be using that. And then I have this really pretty pink and this really pretty purple, and I'm going to be making these star blocks that have some patchwork in the center. I did something like this on a live stream several years ago when I first started my YouTube channel. I made just a mini quilt of this block, so it was a bit bigger than this, but I'm going to make a few of these blocks to put them into a quilt. I think it's going to be a easy thing to do. So here's what I've done.
What?
I don't know.
Sorry, Karen says there's a 9-hour
I'm looking at that.
Millennium Falcon YouTube video. I'm going to have to look
Next.
for that.
That's what I'm going to listen to on Monday.
There you go.
So what I have, I'll give you the cutting measurements, and Mary, if you could write these down and just text them to me later so that I have them. I have 3 fabrics pulled, but 4 essentially cuts. No, I did not add water to my best press. Yes, Vicky, I still have stickers. I have a stack of envelopes that I need to mail out. I have tons of stickers, so if you want stickers, put a self-addressed stamped envelope in the mail to me. My address is in the description box down below and is at the bottom of my website, and I will send you back some stickers.
And if you want mine in there too, let her know.
Yep.
Because she's
Save
already
a stamp.
Yep, she's already sent some out, so I can't help you if it's already been sent out. But if you're sending some and you want my sticker in there as well, just put a note in there letting us know.
Say Becca and Ian.
Yep.
Just be like, both please.
Both please.
Both please. And then we'll coordinate mailing them back to you.
Yep.
So I have 4 different cuts from 3 different fabrics because these 2 fabrics are the same. I'm going to call this A and 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter. I'm struggling to how am I going to label it, but I'm going to work with these 2 together and these 2 together, which is why I'm like A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4. We have narrow cuts and wider cuts. These are going to be 2.5-inch strips by width of fabric, and these are 5.5-inch strips by width of fabric. So what I'm going to do is I've starched it already. So I'm going to grab this width of fabric cut, and I'm going to line my ruler up on here. And what I'm looking for, by the way, if you haven't seen how I do this, I fold the fabric like it comes off of the bolt. And then because I do all of my cutting, not all, but most of my cutting sitting down, I fold it in half again. And what I'm looking for is that it lays nice and flat with no bumps or twists, and that fold that was here originally from the bolt, the one that's in the middle, is relatively straight lined up to the selvage. And then once I know that that's true, I'm going to bring in my ruler and I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to look for a couple of things. The first thing that I'm looking for is a line on the bottom of the ruler that is lined up with that fold that is towards me. The selvages are up here at the top. And then I'm going to look on the left and the right side of the ruler. I want to cut this down to 2.5 inches. I cut it at about 3-ish. I knew I was cutting it big because I wanted to demonstrate trimming this down. So this is going to be a 2.5 inch strip. So I'm going to keep this line straight on the fold and I'm going to slide this over. And I'm going to make sure that I have fabric extending off of the right edge of the ruler and fabric extending past that 2.5 inch line. And I should have all 4 layers because remember this is folded twice underneath here and underneath there. So I'm just going to clean up this edge just like that. And then I will very delicately turn this around, line up the 2.5 inch, the cut that I just made on the 2.5 inch line, make sure it's straight on the bottom and come through on the other side. Now here's my trick before I do anything else. I know I got a straight, yes, if your selvages aren't straight, you do straighten, Brenda. I know if I got a straight, clean cut if I have a continuous piece of fabric. A continuous piece that came off of there means that I went through all 4 layers. Both of those are completely straight, or completely continuous. That's the word I'm looking for. They're both continuous, so I know I'm good. I also know because I made sure that I had a perfect 90 degree on either side where that fold is, that I don't have any of those weird elbow joints in the middle of my fabric. It is just a nice, it looks like there's an elbow here. I promise you there's not. I think it's the angle of the camera, but it's just a nice, straight, clean cut. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to repeat it one more time for this pink. Also, I get it.
What?
I'm a little warm and I got the heat on, so I want to turn it.
Okay. Whoop. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome.
I got you. It's set at 74 and it's really warm over there.
It's warm over here too. But then again, I'm in a hoodie, so.
Well, I just
a hoodie that you bought for me.
That was supposed to be for Tiffany, but she already had it.
But it fits me nicely.
It does. I just turned the air conditioning on at 72.
Woo!
So. All right. All right. So
I'm just trying to think of Zaza. What? Because this is going way back in the conversation, but Zaza was apparently like, she's excited to see Josh next year at Quiltcon, and I'm trying to think of what Josh sounds like being yelled in a Scottish accent.
I don't know.
Joshua. Nope, that's not it. I can't do a Scottish accent very well.
Oh, you just did. You just did. I will tell you when you're doing this method, it's good to make sure that your fabric is folded in half, selvage to selvage once, and there's no twists, bumps, or turns, and it's lined up and it's straight, and then you fold the fold to the selvage and you do the same thing. You got to make sure that both times you're folding it, that fabric is straight and laying nice and flat. Linda says, hello, Becca and Ian just subscribed. I live in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Just saw on YouTube that you were live, so I tuned in. Well, hello, Linda, and welcome from Virginia to Louisiana.
There you go.
I eventually can be taught.
Yes, Zaza, it kind of
It
did,
sounded
didn't it?
Southern African.
It kind of did, didn't it?
Yeah. All right, so both of my strips, my pink and my white, are cut at 2.5 inches. So the next thing that I'm going to do is take these and I'm going to strip. Well, here we go. I was going to say strip piecing, and then I realized as I started to talk that I'm not strip piecing, I'm piecing the strip.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
So apparently I'm just going to strip.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah.
I've always heard bow chicka wow wow. I've never heard
Right.
brown chicka brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
I am learning so many sayings from you. Wash your sister sauce.
Yes.
Brown chicken, brown cow. What else do you got to teach me?
I don't know.
Oh God.
That's hilarious. I can't believe you've never heard
I've
brown
never
chicken, brown
heard
cow.
that. I've never heard that.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to go all the way down the length of both of these, and I'm going to stitch it 1/4 of an inch along the edge. So here we go. No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to thread my needle. Like I feel like people come here just to see how inefficient it is for me to work on this machine anymore. Like I'm not out of love with Ruby, but I feel like every week it's another problem lately. The machine's not threaded. The stitch quality's not great.
Teresa says Mike from Legit Kit says he's going to go to Quiltcon next year.
Well, he
That's
should.
exciting.
I'm glad to hear it.
That's a recordable clip moment. Somebody clip it. Clip it.
Recordable moment. Oh. Ruby misses me. That's why she's acting.
There
You're
you
not
go.
wrong. You're not wrong. She's like, listen, you left me for a whole week, and now you're not sewing much in the evening. I need some quality time, and I'm just trying to explain to her that I got to make money to buy the fabric. She doesn't want to hear it. I mean, if quilting could pay the bills, I would, but it can't.
Hi, Shirley. Glad you could catch Becca live this evening.
I will tell you the one thing that I absolutely love about this, and it's quite honestly the reason why I mostly sew on her in the videos, is I just love the sound of the singer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel as bad when I'm on the live stream and it's just stitching, because I am sure each and every one of you out there love the way this machine sounds too.
A lot of people do.
ASMR Friday night.
Right. John is in the chat. Hi, John.
Hey, John.
John is
Art East?
Art East Quilting Company.
Could you get his link for his website shop and drop it in the
Yes,
chat,
I
please?
can.
That would be lovely.
Once I find it. Here it is. Copy link.
Yeah, so Terry's kept reminding me to use leaders and enders. I am out of them. I need to cut some. I usually keep a pile of them next to my machine, and I ran out. And I just honestly have not spent some time getting little pieces to put over there.
No, I didn't copy the link. Ah. I put the Breaking the Blocks podcast back in. No, that's not. Copy link.
Copy link.
Copy link.
Copy link. Oh, here. There's a little bit of fabric. We'll make this our leader and ender. You might see this fabric in a video tomorrow.
Copy. Paste.
Okay.
Hey, there we go. Okay, so there's the link for the website.
Now for this one, I am laying it down so that the light fabric is on the bottom and the darker fabric is on top. And I am putting my fingers between both layers of fabric and just pushing the seam up to the darker fabric, and I'm finger pressing just to get this strip set to, you know, play nicely. And then I'll come through and give it a hot, dry press, and we're going to subcut this down and make some quick and easy 4 patches. What would we call this pink? If we had to give it a name, because it's a batik and there's not a selvage on it, so
Selvage.
would we call this like corally? No, not
No.
coral, because there's no orange.
No, it's bubblegum.
Bubblegum pink?
It's bubblegum.
Like Hubba Bubba pink?
Yes.
Hubba Bubba. We'll call it Hubba Bubba. Hubba Bubba pink.
Yep. John, that was the right link, right? I did. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Okay. It's got some really fun patterns. Now, once I have that done, I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut this in half because I've got a trick let me show you what my trick is. I'm going to cut this right here in the middle. Not going to worry too much about how much I'm taking off. I just want to get a nice cut because I want 2 pieces. Have you done this yet before, Ian? Look, watch. I have 2 pieces. I'm going to flip one upside down. What? And your face says it all. And I'm going to nest the seam up all the way along this length.
What?
Just like this.
What?
And now, because I know I want the blocks to end up squaring to 4.5 inch, my 4 patches, I want them to square to 4.5 inches. I know I need to cut these at 2.5 inches because I'm going to put 2.5 and 2.5 together. 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5. You take away the 1/2 inch. For your seam allowance, you get 4.5. So I'm just going to cut a whole bunch of 2.5, leaving them on top of each other. And I can already feel that the seams are right there, so I don't have to worry about playing with it later. I do want to put a line on my ruler on my stitching line to make sure everything's nice and straight. The seam is lined up with a line on my ruler. I've got my ruler set at 10, which means I should be able to get 4 out of this cut. I'm going to turn it back around, line up that cut edge with my 10-inch mark. And I'm going to come over here. That's selvage, so we're going to throw that off. And now we're going to go down to 7.5 and cut 5 and cut and 2.5 and cut. And I'm going to just gently stack these and move them out of the way. And I'm going to repeat the same thing with the other side, making sure that my seams are butted up next to each other here, so I don't have to worry about lining everything up when I take it to the sewing machine. It's already stacked on top of each other right now. And I just got to keep the pile nice and tidy. What happened with Brenda?
She says that she's very depressed. She lost lost my sister in January, cousin in February, cousin in March. Husband has late stage dementia and emphysema.
Oh my goodness, Brenda.
Sorry, Brenda, that you're dealing with that. That is a lot.
I am so sorry. Sending you some virtual hugs.
Definitely. Carrie is asking, have I done my flyaway blocks yet? I've been late on everything. Like, everything is late. COVID really knocked me down pretty hard. We were supposed to record the podcast this week. No, we were supposed to release the podcast this week.
We haven't even recorded it.
And we haven't even recorded it yet. So everything for me is behind, unfortunately.
We'll try and record one this week and get back into the rhythm, or we'll just skip a week and get back onto the... Well, it'll be up soon.
Yeah.
So once I have all of these subcut, the seams are already nested together, and I don't know why, but there's some magic that happens with fabric. When you cut it, when it's lined up together, it kind of wants to stay touching it. So it's not going to fall apart too easily, but you still need to be delicate with it. So I'm just going to pick up one of the pairs, and I'm going to bring it to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to stitch with 1/4 inch, and I'm going to chain piece all of these. And this is making my 4 patches really fast. And those points in the middle should be spot on.
Oh my gosh, this cough is so annoying.
It's okay, you'll get over it soon.
I know.
It's your body working out the rest of the yuck.
Yuck. Hi, Shirley. Glad you
Shelley?
Shelley? Is it Shelley? Oh, it is
Shelley
Shelley. Huh? I knew that.
And Shelley Johnston. 2 Shelleys.
2 Shelleys in a row. What?
Do you know what Monday is, Ian?
The 10th.
Do you know who is not celebrating their birthday on her birthday on the 10th?
Oh, I do know. I do know.
Our lovely crafty panda It has a birthday on Monday.
Monday.
I don't think she's celebrating. I think she's waiting to save the festivities until she comes up in April when we see her.
Yeah.
So, but we do have a little something going to her on Monday, and I can't wait for her to get her hands on it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Mary, I did get the package that you sent to me. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that, Debbie, very much.
She said, it's okay to be behind, Ian. Show yourself some grace because you've been sick.
Yep.
Your followers know your work ethic and will continue to follow, and I hope you get better soon.
Thank you. I'm going to try and record, at the very least, I'm going to try and record my monthly recap video because that's now 7 days behind when it's supposed to come out.
Hey, Carol. Carol Lawrence is in the house.
Carol!
Carol!
Shelly, I'm pretty sure it'll be gone hopefully by the end of the month, but goodness gracious, it's just annoying, especially because it only happens when I was talking to a coworker today on a call and I just kept coughing and I'm like, it only happens when I'm talking. Susan says her birthday is her brother's birthday is on Monday.
Yep.
Glad you enjoyed Quiltcon, Susan.
Now that I have these pieced, I'm just going to bring them over in my sewing machine and I'm going to press them so that I have my 4 patches. And this is what my 4 patch will look like. I'm piecing all of them together. And so for each block that I make, I'm going to need 4 of these 4 patches. I had to think about that for a moment. So I'm going to press all of these. I should be able to get 8 from the strip set. Remember, they're cut 2.5 inches by width of fabric. I sewed them together and then I subcut them down into 2.5 inch subcuts. These should square up, I believe, to 4.5 inches, but you're more than welcome to check my math and tell me that I'm wrong, because I might be. So I know you've been battling the crud this weekend, but did you have any highlights? Anything exciting happening? Other than sleeping and drinking medicine balls?
Yeah. I got my stickers in, because I ordered more stickers from Quiltcon. Mm-hmm. I didn't think I was going to. I thought like once those were out, but I really liked the stickers that I got, so I went ahead and ordered another pack and I got those in, so I'm excited to send those out. I got a couple of envelopes today, picked them up from the UPS box, and I'm excited to put those in the mail.
All right, so here are my 4 patches. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and build out the center of this right now so you can see how the center of this is going to go together. I'm going to take 4 patches and I'm going to line them up so that I've got a bigger checkerboard going on. And because I've always pressed towards the pink, I press the whole strip towards the pink, my seams here and here, and when I put them together, everything's going to nest because I don't have any whites touching and I don't have any pinks touching. So we're going to put these 2 right sides together. We're going to take both of them to the sewing machine and sew with 1/4 inch.
Oh, Lily points out that tomorrow is Women's Day.
Oh, holler!
Shelly's been playing with the new Brother XE2 machine all week.
Wow, good for you.
How exciting. Oh, that is a great question, Andrea. Yes, Becca does have a quilt in the SMP virtual quilt
Yes,
fest.
I do!
Yes. And we need to get... There you go. There you go. I'll grab the link while you're
Voting starts
chatting.
on Monday the 10th and ends on Thursday the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you guys, it's a black quilt with an outline of an X in rainbow colors. Beth quilted it. I designed it. I pieced it. Please, I would love it if you went and looked for it. And if it's your favorite, you can vote 2 times a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not telling you have to vote for mine, but all the cool kids will be.
Right. I'm going to grab the link for that, so give me just a second. I'll put that in the chat, but make sure everybody votes this week.
Yes, please. And I think Tiffany has 2 in there, too.
She does. Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, she's already won once. Twice. She's won twice.
All right, I just popped that in the chat. There's the link. It doesn't seem to, like, the link for your quilt doesn't seem to take you specifically to your quilt. So
That's weird.
I don't know. Their website's a little weird, but it is the excluded quilt. As Becca said, it's the Rainbow X. So let's...
It's called Excluded. X-Cluded.
Let's try and get Becca her ginormous jumbo face-sized ribbon this year. Would be awesome.
I won sewing machines last year because I voted.
I
awesome.
know.
See, you guys could win prizes too if you just vote.
Shelly says, time for Becca to win, win, win.
I saw somebody say, if she's just going to win another Juki she won't use or something like that. Listen, I don't even know what the prizes are. And I'll be honest, I just want the ribbon.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the prize later. Like, if I get a couple of sewing machines, maybe there's a giveaway.
Right, there you go. There you go.
Have it drop shipped to one of you.
Right. Yeah, I know somebody else. Andrea, I think, obviously Andrea won last year, but somebody else won, like another audience member won something last year too during the S&P Quilt Fest. So go vote, go vote, go vote, go vote. You can vote twice a day. And it actually sometimes lets me vote more than twice a day. So,
I mean, you didn't hear that here, but if it
and I may have voted on my phone and my iPad and my computer.
I do think it is keyed by email address.
That I don't know.
Tiffany asked on the flower pot breakfast quilting, asked folks not vote for her so that someone else might win.
That's sweet of her.
I love her. Could that someone else be me? Mm-hmm. No, you can't vote until Monday. Voting starts on Monday.
Nope, Monday.
Be there. So here is what the center of my star block is going to be. It's going to look like a little picnic basket. All right, so now I'm going to set this aside.
What?
And we're going to move on to the bigger pieces. So let's put this up here for now.
There's a question, Becca. Do you have the large fold and cut? Oh, the mat.
Yes, this is the biggest one. I've had it for about a year. I love it. Most of the time, I do keep it folded while I'm sitting over here, but I've just opened it up. So it's great because it's basically every size cutting mat I'll ever need. And I've got multiple surfaces, so I'm not constantly wearing out the one surface. I can close it, cut on the other side, cut on the other, like there's more than one way to skin a cat with this one. All right, so now I've got my 2 pieces of bigger fabric, and I want to do the same thing that I did before, but I'm gonna cut these at 5.5 inches. And so the first thing that I'm gonna do is line these selvages up to get that fabric laying nice and flat. I want the selvages lined up. And I want to make sure that there's no twist or curves. Then I'm going to pick that fold up and bring it up to the selvage. And now I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to get my ruler and I'm going to cut this at 5.5 inches because I'm going to use it to make half square triangle units. But from that strip, I am going to have to cut out some 4.5 inch squares to go in the corners of the 4 blocks. So I'm going to line up my line on the bottom fold. Mary. She's going to steal it from me when she comes up in April.
Know. Too funny.
Flip that around. And now I'm going to cut from this 2 5.5 inch squares.
Happy birthday, Janet.
Happy birthday.
She says, celebrating birthday with my besties tonight.
That's awesome. I hope you have a wonderful time. There we go. I'm going to set these aside because I'm going to use them for half square triangle units, and I'm going to cut 4.5 inch squares. So this is double-sided, so I'm going to cut it 9 inches over by 4.5, and then I'll just subcut that right down the middle. And these are going to be used for my corner pieces of my block.
Michelle also has a quilt in the SMP Quilt Fest.
Wonderful. I'll vote for you if you vote for me.
There you go.
All right, so there we go. And we're going to do the same thing for the 5.5 inch. We only need 2 5.5 inch squares from this purple. So I'm just going to make sure this is nice and straight. I'm looking to make sure my selvages are lined up. Shake it out. Get it to lay flat. And it might mean I've got a twist here that I just have to scooch this over a little bit so it lays flat. So I scooched the selvage edge over. And now I'm going to bring that fold up to the selvage. Everything's laying nice and flat, and I'm going to cut this down to 5.5 inches.
Kate, voting hasn't opened yet. You've got to wait until Monday to start voting. So they have not started accepting votes. There will be a vote button that appears under each quilt.
Yeah.
So you'll have to wait to Monday for that to open up.
Actually, it wasn't email address. It was the ID of your machine. That's what it was. They look at your MAC address, I think. To make sure, so like if you have multiple people using the same machine, I think it's just the one machine can vote. Whatever, just vote. Like, just vote. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how do they do it, and I don't need to because it doesn't matter.
They have a wizard that magically looks into every computer.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard.
And a mighty good one.
Excuse me.
Jason walks around the house saying that. Have you heard him saying it?
I have, yeah.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yep.
All right, get a sip of water. Oh, I love that water. Okay. I'm going to take my 2 bigger squares. These are the 5.5 inches by 5.5 inch squares. And I'm going to draw on the back side of my white, because that's what I'll be able to see, a line that goes from one corner down to the other. Like that. In case you're curious, I am using an air-soluble pen from Sewline. This is my preferred marking tool. I have converted Ian to this pen.
She has.
I have.
She has indeed.
Because it just disappears on its own. And it stays through starching and steam. So if you mark something that you're not ready to get rid of, but you need to starch, it's still good. It goes away on its own after a couple of days. Or a couple hours, depending on how much you're blowing over top of the fabric. Now I'm going to stitch a 1/4 inch away from that drawn line on either side.
Wendy, I just put the link in the chat again for the virtual SMP Quilt Show. You can also Google Virtual Quilt Fest from SMP.
Yes.
Sewing Machines Plus. Robbie was so good as Hagrid.
Wait a minute, he died?
Yeah.
Aw, I didn't know
He
that.
did.
You just made my night horrible.
Oh, no.
I didn't know.
Marjorie,
Dumbledore and Hagrid?
I know. Well, and the original Dumbledore was my favorite.
Well, wait, did both Dumbledores die?
Well, no, I think...
The original one was the best.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Marjorie, I am just reading chat tonight. I'm too tired to do anything.
He's not feeling great. He's just here for company. He's been cooped up in his apartment for a week or so, and he's desperate for interaction with people.
As soon as that test came back negative,
He's
I'm
like,
free!
I was like, you can come over even before you're negative. That's fine. He's like, no, I'm going to wait. And then literally the next day he was like, it's negative!
It's negative! I'm free!
We had biscuits and gravy tonight.
We sure did.
He got some biscuits and gravy in his bowl. Jason made sausage gravy and biscuits. And I made my bowl and I ate, and Ian made his bowl and he ate. We're all in the front room watching TV together, Jason, Ian, and I. And I get up and I look over and he's got gravy in his beard.
I did. And I knew it was in there too, but I forgot to grab a paper towel before I sat down. And so I was like, oh, well, it's just going to stay.
Jason was like, oh, I'm saving it for later.
Right, yeah. I know, Teresa, that one really hurt. Maggie Smith, when Maggie Smith passed away.
Yeah, I loved
was
her.
So sad.
She was in so many things.
I know. She was in a lot of things. She was so good. Thank you, Gina.
Once I've got those sewn, now I'm just going to cut them on that line that I drew. This doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Just in between those lines with enough fabric on either side of the...
Shelly, get out of the house. You're not supposed to be here. She said we had biscuits and gravy too.
I figured that went way too fast. And now I'm going to bring it over here to my pressing surface, and I'm going to press the fabric towards the purple.
I did, Melody. I did know that he played Arthur in the movie Camelot. He was honestly the best Dumbledore.
Yeah.
This other Dumbledore, like, got mad at Harry, and it's like, no, Dumbledore would never get mad at Harry. No, how dare you?
They didn't read the books.
Yeah, he didn't, or something. I don't know, but I was like, you're not the real Dumbledore.
Get out of here. The other Dumbledore loved Harry. You're just a phony.
Oh, no.
What is Becca's quilt called? Couldn't find it because I'm making it up as I go. You'll have to go back to the beginning to get all the cutting instructions.
Oh, no, I think they're talking about...
X-cluded.
Yeah.
X-cluded.
It's a black X with rainbow.
Or it's a black fabric with a rainbow outline of an X.
Yep, that one.
You can also just search for Becca. Because it's under Becca.
Yep.
All right, now that I've got my 4 half square triangle units pieced, I'm going to square these up to 4.5 inches. And I'm going to get a smaller ruler to do that. Only because I can. I would probably still do it with my bigger one if I weren't on camera, but sometimes it can be a little hard to wield the big ruler around when you're doing things on camera. And I just dropped a bolt of fabric.
Connie, it changed the SMP, like, they rotate their quilts through the page. So what is on page 3 right now will be different. So each time you load the page, it ends up in a different place. So she was saying it's on page 3 for me, but they rotate quilts around, so it bounces.
Okay, I'm going to square this up to 4.5 inches, and because I cut my squares at 5.5 inches, I am going to have quite a bit of excess, but this is my preferred way for making half square triangle units because I get them precise when I do this. I always cut my squares bigger than they're needed, piece it together, and then I square it up. If you don't want to waste even an inch of fabric, this is only a 1/2 inch, but if you don't want to waste an inch of fabric and you want to struggle with making sure you're absolutely perfect, that's on you. That's your fabric. You do it as you please. This is how I please. Your sewing room, your rules.
The Gen X quilter says, I didn't realize the first Dumbledore died, so when I got to Prisoner of Azkaban, I'm like, wow, Dumbledore got a little sassy.
Dumbledore's wife left him. He was upset.
Dumbledore had a male partner?
Okay, Dumbledore's husband left him. He was I don't care. Dumbledore's love of his life left him. Actually, he did.
Yeah, he did.
I thought you were talking about the actor.
No.
Now I just remembered The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his partner was a doozy. And he really did leave him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I speak truth.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot.
You sure did.
That. I was just being silly. Just trying to fill the silence.
Little did you know you were telling the truth the whole time.
Little did I know. Teresa says it's easier to take that off than add it back on. Just my opinion. I agree. That's the beauty of quilting and having your own fabric and your own tools and your own vision. Do it the way that works for you. If what I'm doing doesn't work for you, then don't do it my way. Do it the way that works for you. I'm not going to yuck your yum. You don't yuck my yum. And in the end, we both had fun making whatever it is we wanted to make. There's more than one way to make what you're looking to do.
Mayor, the stickers, if you want a sticker, you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Becca's mailbox, which is...
in the description box down below and on the bottom of every page of my website.
There you go. If you'd like a set of stickers from both Becca and myself, just make sure to say that you want a set of stickers from both. Put a little note in there.
You just write a note and say, both!
Both, please!
I've literally had like a Post-it, like they'll come through with an envelope and people are just putting a Post-it note on the envelope. They're like, stickers with like exclamation points. So where can we get a Sew Becca? My website. I have a line of quilty shirts that I have designed. They are all available on my website, also in my Etsy shop. There's a few of them that are fun. I have one of each, and they're probably the only shirts that I'm going to be wearing in my videos from now on. My quilting shirts. I love them. I had a bit of a struggle trying to find the right print-on-demand service. I was talking with Ian about this last night because I had one a while ago, but I didn't like the quality of the shirts. And that just kind of fell off the wayside. It was always my intention to bring it back, and I just didn't. And then I brought it back, but I brought it back with Teespring. Mm-hmm. Don't use them. I brought it back with Teespring, and I placed 3 different orders with them. And on all of those occasions, I sat waiting for 6+ weeks, and the order never came. One of them finally partially came. And I was just like, I can't have this. Like, that's not, like, if I'm going to make this and I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to ask people to spend their hard-earned money, I can't do this. So I closed that shop down and took everything down. And I've reinvented it, made some new designs, and I've put everything back up there. And it's with a different print-on-demand service. They do things a little bit differently in that they charge me for the wholesale price of the shirt and the printing. And then I just, like, they charge you the full price of the t-shirt, but they hit my credit card and then give me the I don't know. It's weird. It's almost like I'm getting reimbursed for the blank when you buy it. It's weird. It is weird, but here's why I'm probably going to stick with them. I didn't tell you about this, Ian. They do everything in-house, so their quality is better.
That makes sense.
It's not outsourced to anybody else. Everything is through their company. And the shirts, they're Bella and Canvas 301 shirts. They're really soft. They're very comfortable. And they're unisex. I needed more than that. I need more than that because I need 8 half-square triangle units altogether.
Ruh-roh.
I was too busy talking, so I'm just going to cut 2 more 5.5-inch squares from the purple and the white. So I needed 4 of the 5.5-inch and 4 of the 4.5-inch of the white. You get it. Whatever. I'm shutting up now.
Zaza, did you send a self-addressed envelope? Because if you didn't, send me your address, and Becca and I will make sure. Because I have a global stamp that I can use.
Yep.
So both Becca and I have global stamps. So we'll just stick them into an envelope. So email me your physical mailing address, and I'll make sure that you're getting a set of both stickers headed your way. Also, I saw Andrea, I believe it's Andrea. Andrea, do me a favor, send me an email, and I'll take care of you. Just send me an email with your physical mailing address, and I'll make sure you get a set of stickers as well.
Queen of the Roost is saying, Sunday Cool is an amazing t-shirt company, softest shirts ever, but you'd have to order and have your own stock. I don't have the time or the physical space to be able to do that. So that's why I'm offloading it to a print-on-demand service. And 301, the Bella and Canvas, I believe they're American-made shirts. So if that's a thing for you, and I'm not going to say anything else about that.
Linda, I don't know if Becca has already mailed out your envelope, so
thank you, Melody.
I'll look and see, but if you end up getting a envelope that doesn't have my stickers in it, just send me a self-addressed envelope.
Yep.
I didn't think, I should have thought about that. I feel bad because I should have thought about that, before, but I didn't think about it until after Becca's already started mailing hers, and so it's just like, this is what we got. Melody, thank you so much for the super chat for Becca. Woo woo!
Yes, I agree. Katie says the purple batik is beautiful, Becca. I agree. Thank you. It's gonna make an amazing quilt.
Also,
Also.
I need to add a correction because when we were packing stickers, we were worried that Sticker App had shorted you stickers.
They did not.
They did not.
So I was so distraught. I went back. Thank you, Pat. I went back and yes, stickers. Send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, Katie. So I went back and looked at my order because I was like, man, they shorted me 70 stickers. I only had 230. What the heck? So I went back and looked at my order. You guys, I ordered 200 of each of those 3 designs. They gave me 30 more.
Yeah, they gave you 30 extras.
So I need to sorry, Sticker App, for being upset. You actually did, you went above and beyond.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So would recommend, 10 out of 10.
And I love their holographic stickers. Like the holographic ones for my 4-letter banana quilt looks so good.
Don't need to mark through the center. It's easier just to sew a box around the outside of the squares, isn't it? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Kaz.
Katie, send me an email with your mailing address and I'll take care of it.
Okay. I think I have hers, but it would really be easier if it was just at the top of my inbox because I have a package over there for her that I need to mail to, that scrap fabric.
Oh.
So maybe...
Oh, is this Greenland Quilter?
Yes.
Oh, Katie, you're confusing me. I actually sent out an envelope with yours, so yours are on the way.
John says he's always had good luck with Sticker App too.
Sticker App is amazing.
Yeah.
I was talking with Rose City Originals Chris. He ordered his on Sunday, and they showed up yesterday. 4 days, coming from the Netherlands or whatever they are. They flew.
They're fast.
They flew fast.
They did. They did. Katie J. Are you Greenland Katie? Katie J? Greenland Quilter Katie? No. Yeah. No. I don't know. Your name's confusing me. Denmark. They're coming from Denmark.
Denmark. That's right. That's right. So they got to Greenland. They got to Chris in 4 days, which is insane.
And he's in the Pacific Northwest, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he said, hiya, yes. Yeah, it was the scrap fabric that we put together over a month ago. They're still sitting there because I'm horrible with mailing packages. I can mail envelopes. Mailing packages, different story. Spoiler alert, there are 4 people that asked for, I emptied out my scrap bin and I put them into packages on a Zoom call with them. Another reason why maybe you want to join my VIP membership and hop on my Zooms because you never know what I'm going to get rid of in my room. They're still sitting over there, and I'm just going to let you know they're probably going to be sitting over there when Mary comes in April, and so you'll get them in May. But it's free, so it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, you did scrap fabric, I thought, with us. Or was it? Yeah, it was her. Yes, it was her because she said it was the bag of fabric. Maybe you just forgot about it. I had a bunch of fabric and we went through and it's got your name on it.
Yep. There's several packages over there. She's incognito. She is. She's trying to be
incognito until we call her out.
I know.
Kelly's one of them. She's got a package over there, I think.
Andrea, you're hilarious. I got your email, but you didn't put your mailing address in it. Andrea, I need your mailing address if you'd like stickers.
Hi, my name is Andrea. Next. Yes, we are.
She wrote a very lovely email saying that she hopes I feel better soon, but there wasn't a mailing address in it. Excuse me.
Laura Supp, who's in the chat, I got to meet her and her husband at Quiltcon.
Yeah.
And before we went to Quiltcon, she had made, I think her husband had emailed me about the quilt that, I need to finish and actually get out to them. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll do that this weekend. So he was like, "Hey, have you mailed my quilt yet?" And I was like, "No." Like in my head, I was like, "No, I haven't mailed your quilt yet. It doesn't even have borders on it. Gosh, do you not know how this works? I told you you're going to get the quilt. It'll be a year from now." In my head, that's the conversation that I had. But I reined myself in because I was pretty sure I was overreacting in my head.
Right.
And so I met them at Quiltcon, and they were like, "No, actually, we only wanted to know if you had mailed it because we were going to be gone.
Oh.
And we didn't want it to show up while we were gone." I was
that
like,
makes sense.
"Oh, yeah, don't worry. You probably won't get it for a year."
Oh, now I feel dumb because Andrea's, her address is in the signature, but my email didn't show it. It didn't show the signature. I had to click the 3 dots for it to open it up. So Andrea, my fault, but because she's like, it's in the signature, but
We're just going to blame the COVID.
Yeah, we'll
the
blame
COVID
that.
brain fog that's left over for 3 years. Can we tell the people about the equipment we invested in?
After I address Katie, I sent my stickers independently from Becca, but Becca will get hers to you. We promise.
Yes.
What? Jabba
Jaja Brownie?
Yeah, that one. No plans for that this year, and probably not next year. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes right now with a lot of different things, so probably not going to be going to International Quilt Fest this year or next year. But we have some other exciting things going on. Both
super
this year and
exciting.
I know, super exciting things.
Yep.
Nope.
Can't talk.
Nope. Can't say.
So want to say it all.
I know. I know. But we can't. But we can't. It's okay, Katie. No worries. Just a lot happening all at once. I'm trying to keep it all straight in my head, and I can't even think straight. So there we go. Anyways, what were we going to talk about? There was something.
I was just trying to find things to.
You were going to mention. We were going to talk about. Oh, the equipment. The equipment.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ridiculous purchase I made.
Yes, that happened while I had COVID and was not thinking.
And it's still in boxes because. Okay. I'll let you talk, and then I'll add in.
Well, so if you watched the last episode of the Sew Off Kilter podcast, you know that. Thank you, Becky. I appreciate that. You know that our sound quality sucked. I was so disappointed. Again. I'm so disappointed because we've tried so many different ways to get it to work, and every time it fights us and doesn't want to have, I don't know. Yes, I know, Mary, it's a secret. I know, I promise. We're not going to say anything, but it's so exciting. Anyways,
Maybe I'll give little tiny hints.
No hints. No, I'm
going to give you a hint. Here's a hint. Are you ready? Wait, hold on. What do I do? It's going to have something to do with quilting.
Oh my gosh. I got so nervous when you did that. I'm like, what is she about to do? What is she about to do?
I mean, you never know what I'm going to say, and that's the danger of being around me. Danger of being me.
Anywho, oh my gosh. I can't even.
The sound quality sucked.
Sound quality sucked. Yeah, so the sound quality sucked. Jonathan, we can't. We want to so bad, but we can't. The sound quality sucked, and we're about to have a visitor.
Hi.
The sound quality sucked, and so we ended up. Well, I didn't end up purchasing
What's
anything.
Up? Ask your father. It might be on the front porch, cause it was delivered.
Was it flat and white?
Uh-huh.
I probably brought it in.
Okay, well then go open it.
Oh, Zoe.
Anyway.
So the sound quality sucked, and I really was kind of upset about that. Becca was too. I
have had so many issues. There has been multiple episodes of the podcast that I have edited.
Yeah.
And I've gone through the same thing, and I get so frustrated.
Yep.
And so I'm just like, ugh. Anyway, so he was feeling what I had felt Go ahead.
Right. And so, oh yeah, you're right, Mary. Plus the dog ate the mic cover for one
For
of
the microphones that we did
Yeah.
have.
So it was really
And
frustrating.
those, by the way, those microphones even were giving us a hard time.
Yeah, because we couldn't plug them in at the same time, and then the
It was a whole thing.
soundboard like fried. I don't know. It was a
It was
whole
a whole
thing.
thing.
So while I was stuck in my apartment with COVID, I get a text message from Becca that was like, "Hi, I just spent a whole bunch of money on equipment, but we now have 2 microphones, a soundboard. What else?"
So I bought a sound mixer to plug the microphones into, and I bought 2 podcast mics with 2 boom arms. So, and I didn't go with cheap microphones.
Yeah.
I went with Rode microphones
Yeah.
with the Rode sound mixer, I think. I don't know. It was a buttload of money.
Yep.
But if I want the sound to be good when we're just sitting
Yeah.
talking. Oh, and I got headphones for
Oh,
us
that's
so we
right,
could
that's right.
hear the sound as we're recording. Now we know why those podcasters sit with the headphones on when they're talking to each other, because you need to be able to hear it. The problem that we have is we don't know how it sounds until after we've recorded it, and it's frustrating.
Yep. So I'm so glad that you bought that equipment, and will hopefully whenever you listen to the Sew Off Kilter podcast from this point forward, it'll sound buttery smooth.
I
and
hope so.
I know, with the amount of money it's
I
gonna
hope
be.
so.
It's hopefully will be a lot better, and we'll be able to bring better audio quality. And at some point, we need to upload it onto an actual streaming platform for podcasts.
But
so
the other exciting thing, and I'll just go ahead and tell you guys what I'm really excited about. This is the news that we had. I don't know why we were sitting on it. We are going to start having guests on the podcast because we have finally figured out the technology.
Yay!
What was stopping us from having guests on the podcast? So it has something to do with quilting, right? What was stopping us from having guests on the podcast is we didn't have a way to bring them. We could Zoom with them, but I didn't have a good way for both of us to hear the person and the person to hear us, and have all of that sound being recorded to the video file that the computer was recording. And so by investing in the equipment to make our sound quality better and to monitor our audio sounds, it now allows us to have a video conference with a guest and record that so that we can have some guests on the podcast. And what is exciting is we've got a number of friends that are already like, I want to be on the podcast. Chris from Rose City Originals wants on.
I was surprised.
I walked, we went to the content creator meetup. What was it, Friday night?
Yeah.
Walked up and he was like, hi, I want to be on the podcast. Like, it was that direct. And
Yeah.
I loved it because I was like, oh, thanks. Thank you.
Right.
So
It was surprising.
yep. And so he's going to be there. We're also, I'd love to get Brandy from Quilter on Fire on there. Karen Brown said she was willing to. Huh?
Since you had all the technology issues with Brandy.
I know, this will be the third time. Third time is the charm. I've recorded 2 interviews with Brandy. 2 of them, and both of them had issues. And so I'm like, okay, third time's the charm. I'm not even going to ask her until I know I got my stuff right.
Yep.
But the first person out of the gate is going to be Rachel from Breaking the Blocks.
Yep.
But we've already got, like, Karen Brown is like, yeah, I'll do it. Chris is going to do it. There are a couple other people in that group that were going to do it. Brandy's going to do it. John, if you want to, like, let's get John from Art East. If anybody wants to talk quilting with us, just email us, offkiltercrafterian@gmail.com or Becca@sewbecca.com. And it doesn't even have to be, like, we'll be happy to talk with you. We're not looking just to have conversations with only big content creators.
Yep.
We just want to have conversations about quilting,
Oh
and
my
we're happy to
gosh.
bring you in. But you're going to be on video and you're going to be on audio, and we might have to have some conversations with you before
Right.
we decide to bring you in.
Yo Petty G put in the chat, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. You need to make this shirt. I love this shirt idea. She says, Becca, you should have a shirt, t-shirt, make one up. You should make up a shirt that says, my friends went to Quiltcon 2025 and all I got was 4 stickers. and have the 4 stickers printed on the shirt.
I can do that.
That's hilarious.
You can take the same thing too.
I
and just
know.
put your sticker
I
images.
know. That would be funny. I love that. I love that idea.
My friends went to Quiltcon and
all
only
I got
got me
was
these stickers.
Yes, Andrea, I bet we could get Mike from Legit Kits on.
Yep.
But the first person, because we
has to be
promised Rachel that she was going to be the very first one.
I want her channel to blow up.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, drop the link again. I want you guys to go over to Crafty Monkeys. I want you to subscribe, and I want you to listen to her Breaking the Blocks podcast. It's a whole
pinned.
playlist.
It is pinned.
It's at the top of the chat.
It's at the top of the chat. And if you're watching this on the replay, it'll still be there in replay as well.
Just go to the live chat.
Yep, you can go to live chat, and the pinned post or the pinned comment is mine. That is the Breaking the Blocks podcast. I don't know why she hasn't blown up voice talent-wise, because she has such a buttery, smooth, like, announcer voice, and I don't know why she hasn't blown up. It's really unfortunate, because she is an amazing person. So I need to message her. I haven't talked to her all week.
Actually, I just talked to her. I'm going to be talking to her in the morning. If you want to, I'm going to help her with some YouTube stuff. If you want to swing by and help.
Be like, hey.
Yeah. We'll probably be on for a little while.
Either that, or I'll be asleep, and I'll be like, I'll be like, oh, come over later.
All right. So all I did is I just sewed my 2 half square. Thank you, Kia. Kia has a wonderful social media presence as well. Ian, could you drop... Actually, you know what, Kia? Just type !selfie in the chat. That'll drop your YouTube channel. Instead of having him hunt and peck. So I sewed my 2 half square triangle units together to make star legs for my block. Uh-oh.
Yo, Betty G says, Becca and Ian, you both have my address. XL and Heather Gray, please.
You're not wrong. If I make it, I will send you one.
Hey, I need to get a website. Like, I need to get a website. I need
I've
to
been
get.
telling you that for
I know.
25 years.
I know. I need
Good
to just
grief.
pull the trigger. I am going to talk to. I have a buddy that does graphic design, and
we should also get Kia. Kia B. She doesn't do quilting as much.
Oh.
She does cross stitch a lot more now.
Okay.
But she was a Cotton Cuts ambassador.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, I thought you
For
said
a
we need
podcast,
to get a Kia, and I'm like, why are we getting a car? What do we need a car for? No.
Anyway.
But no, I'm talking with my friend who does graphic design, and I'm going to see if he can maybe help refresh my logo a little bit, because I feel like I want to refresh. It's been several years. I feel like I need to do a refresh a little bit.
Reboot.
Do you remember that show, Reboot?
I don't know.
It was like one of the first animated, like, computer 3D animation cartoons on Saturday morning, and I used to love that show. Does anybody in chat remember Reboot? I love that show.
I got to tell you, all of you that are popping over really quick to subscribe to Crafty Monkeys are making Rachel's day, because yesterday I was chatting with her through Instagram voice, and she was like, Becca, I got 10 subscribers today. I think what I'm doing is working. She was so excited over 10 subscribers.
Good.
Wouldn't it be great if we could give her 100?
Oh my gosh,
go subscribe.
Amazing. That would be amazing. I've listened to some of the other podcasts guests that she had on, and she just brings out such great stories.
I have not gotten, it's not always just about quilting. She's talking to people and just talking about their stories.
Yep.
And they happen to be folks that are quilters or creative types, but it's not, let's talk about the 1/4-inch seam allowance. It's like talking about their real, like, you get to know that person.
Their real life struggles.
Yeah. Things that everybody can relate to. Because interestingly enough, she is actually not a quilter.
Nope. Oh, I'm so glad other people remember Reboot. Susan says, I remember it, Ian. My 44-year-old son loved it. And then John also remembers Reboot.
I don't think I remember it. Was it on cable or something?
No, it was on ABC.
Oh, I don't know. ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Nancy, you might already be subscribed if you can't find a subscribe button. Maybe, I don't know. Not sure.
Laura, it is the pinned chat message. So there is a pinned chat message in the live chat. You can click on that link. It's Breaking the Blocks. You can search for Breaking the Blocks on YouTube and it'll pull up her playlist.
It does make it hard to find it when you're searching Breaking the Blocks because that's not the name of her channel right now. It is Crafty Monkeys. Her podcast is called Breaking the Blocks. And so she has a playlist on her channel called Breaking the Blocks. Just use the link and it'll take you to the playlist with all of her episodes that are video.
Stitch in Time. I'm so glad you remember it well. I remember it as well because.
What was it about? Maybe I do remember it.
It was like this digital city, and the user would send in games, and if you failed the game,
I know.
Yes. Yeah.
Jason loved that show.
Yeah, it was
and
the
I
greatest.
remember it not from a childhood, but because he talked about how much he loved it. Because there was it came back recently for a little while.
Yeah.
He and Zoe would watch it, and they try to figure out the mind game, the puzzles.
Yep.
I remember from like 2 years ago. Not from 20.
YouTube is streaming them for free right now, so you can actually go on YouTube and find them. Unfortunately, Darlene, I can't put the link in because I don't have it copied. It is saved. I have Becca's link right now, the SMP. That's the link that I have active at the moment.
Is it the link for the podcast?
She's looking for the one for the podcast. It's up in this.
It's pinned at the top of the chat. Just click on the little bubble at the top of the chat. It'll expand out and you'll see the link.
No, Lisa, it's not pottery and painting.
Nope.
Breaking the Blocks is the playlist that it's from.
Yep, and the channel is Crafty Monkeys, Monkies.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's going to change. I think she's going to brand the channel to be Breaking the Blocks. So
yeah, we need to get her.
And listen, what I'll do, because I know we're talking tomorrow. I'm gonna help her with some behind the scenes stuff tomorrow. What I'll do is once that's done, I'll put a blog post on my website.
There you go. That's a great idea.
And then you guys can just go to my website. I'll link to her playlist. I'll link to her podcast on Spotify so you can get the audio version. I'll link to the video version of where you can find it on YouTube. And I might even give you a direct link to Ian and Josh's episodes, and we'll see who gets the most listens. Because right now Ian is holding the title, but maybe we can get Josh to beat Ian's record.
There you go. Vicky found it and subscribed. Awesome.
Yay.
Lisa found it. Good. She's so great.
I just love listening to her voice.
I can't stop saying good things about her. She's just a wonderful person.
She is. Very conversational.
Yeah. I so have Lady Gaga stuck in my head. Garden of Eden stuck in my head right now. Can't get it out.
I will listen to it this weekend, I am sure.
I'm sure you will.
Slim chance he's crushed the listeners.
I may or may not be the most watched podcast episode on our channel.
Challenge accepted.
Right?
Challenge accepted. Come on, let's get Josh over 2,000.
Oh my gosh. I told her whenever your podcast goes live, like, you would crush me for sure.
Well, then yours is going to go up right after that.
Well, true.
Because people are going to watch that, and then they're going to be like, Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah.
They're just going to go down a rabbit hole. So.
Well, and I'm also excited for Leo's episode.
Oh, Leo's
my gosh,
phenomenal.
I cannot wait for Leo's episode to come
Leo.
out. I do too.
I'm
so glad you got to meet him in person.
We just it was like instant, like, this is my person. He's my person.
Terry, isn't that so true? She says, who doesn't love the English accent? She could literally read the phone book, and she pretended to read the phone book in one of, because we do, what is that, WeChat or whatever, one of the apps.
The voice chat in Instagram.
Yeah, no, it was whatever.
Was it Marco Polo?
No, it was, whatever the Facebook thing is. Anyways.
Oh, Messenger?
And, she pretended to read the phone book because I told her she could just read the phone book and I would just put that on and like go to sleep to it because she has such a soothing, calm voice. And she pretended to read the phone book and I was like, save that video, save it.
How many people can you vote for a day? You can vote twice a day.
You
get 2 votes,
2 votes.
period.
Josh says, Leo is amazing.
And he is instantly likable, which is what Linda said.
Yep. WhatsApp. Thank you. That's what it is, Josh.
Old Man Drone. I wonder if that person may or may not know Math Geek. Old Man Drone.
What?
I wonder if that is Math Geek's
Oh,
better
hey,
half.
see? I was like, I didn't see that username pop up, and I'm like, who are you talking about? Gina, you're going to love it. You are going to love it. Thank you, Josh. Crafty Monkeys, Monkies.
Well, it's only been an hour and a half, and what did you do? I made 1 block. But I walked you through all of it, and I sat here and chatted, and I even prepped my fabric, and I gave you all the instructions to do it. So this is going to be a big block when it's all done. This is what it will look like. Oh, that's so pretty. Right?
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that great? So I'm going to make a bunch of these. I'm probably going to do, let's see, what does this measure at when it's squared? It's going to be 16 by 16. So it's going to be a 16-inch block when it's all done, using the measurements that I used. And so my thought is that I'm going to make probably 4 crossed and 5 down. So I'm going to need to make 19 more of these. And then I'll put them into a nice size quilt and do some pretty quilting on it. That was a great way to get through some 4 patches really quickly. And I could even streamline this further by doing the 4 at a time, or the 8 at a time half square triangle units to yield down the 4.5 inches. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there are more ways that you can continue to streamline this, and I will probably continue to do that. This will be the weekend project that I work on this weekend. Oh! But you know what we did not do, Ian?
Wait. What did we not do?
I did not show them what I finished.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been trying to finish. It doesn't have binding on it yet. I'll grab it. Thank you.
There it is.
It doesn't have binding on it yet, but I finished piecing it last week and over the weekend, tossed it on the long arm, and I now have my mini quilt that I was working on last week fully pieced and quilted, and this is what it looks
so
like.
Pretty.
Kelly, I don't know what date the April Zoom is. You'll have to look on the website. The dates are up there. If it is Easter weekend, I will move it. Isn't that pretty? I did matchstick quilting, and look how precise that is. You guys, like, it's flat. It is like, it's flat. It's
so
perfect. So I haven't bound it yet because I want this fabric to be the binding, and I decided I want this to be a flange. And so I ordered some of this fabric. It'll actually be here tomorrow. So I'm going to do a flange binding around all 4 corners. And on the back, I just pulled, it's so stiff. I love it. On the back, I just pulled this mustardy, I think this is a Lori Holt fabric. I just pulled this because it kind of played with those oranges and yellows that are on the front. So love it. I'm trying to get in the habit of showing you a project I'm starting on a Friday, and then the next Friday showing you the progress that I made, preferably showing you that it was finished. So kind of keeping a rhythm. That's why I'm trying to stick to like easier projects on a Friday, either something I can finish now or something I can give you a taste of to show you what I'm doing, and then I can take it off camera, finish it up over the course of a week, or make progress on it and then finish it up the second week, and then the third week I can show it off. But I don't want them, like, I want to start, I'm okay continuing, but by that third week, I want to be able to show you what's finished, at least as far as the top is concerned.
Yep.
It'd be great if it was quilted.
My quilt project says that's a blue ribbon, and I could agree.
I wished, I don't think, well, I guess if I get the binding tomorrow, it could be bound, and I could submit it to Sewing Machines Plus, but I don't want to
No.
compete against
Yeah.
myself. I only want to put one quilt in.
Yeah.
And so since it's finished in 2025, it hasn't even started its show circulation yet. So I am going to hold this back, but it is going to be a show quilt.
Yep.
Auntie L Handmade is saying, yes, it is Easter weekend. Okay, we're going to bump it either up one or back one. I will update the website.
That's one of the hard things is Easter bounces around, and
Yeah.
so it
does.
Yeah.
It does.
People are asking what a flange binding is.
So a flange binding, and I should do a video on this, but a flange binding is just a binding where you're going to take two narrow strips of fabric and you're going to sew them together along that long strip, just like I did here. I actually have I have a calculator on my website that tells you how to cut it. I can't tell you the exact measurements off the top of my head, but you're going to sew those all together. The one piece of fabric is going to be about 1/4 inch smaller than the other. And then after you sew them together, you're going to treat it just like you would binding. You're going to put all of you're going to make a long width of one, a long width of the other, and then join that huge long piece of binding together. And then you're going to fold it in half just like you would your binding, and you're going to attach it. But you're going to attach it from the back first, so all the way around, just like you normally would. But then when you flip it over to the front, you're going to have just like a little tiny peak of a secondary color that's popping out. It's almost like when you bind a quilt normally and you pull that, if you bind from the back and pull over to the front, think of it this way. When you pull it over to the front, if you took a second piece of fabric and folded it in half so that the fold extends maybe 1/8 of an inch out past where that binding wraps around to, that's the effect that you get. So it ends up being a little bit like, in my opinion, it feels like matting for a photograph.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
What machine, model, and sewing table do you have? This is a 1951 Singer 301. This is a Quilter's Vision Taylor. It's on my website. I don't remember the name of the table. I've had it for years, but this is a 1951 Singer 301.
We also need to let everybody know, because not this weekend, but the following weekend, you have 4 quilts in a show.
And you have 2.
And I have 2. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So coming up, we have the Dallas Quilt Show. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or plan to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the show starts March 14th. It runs through the 16th. Becca will have 4 quilts in the show. 4. And I will
one
have
of them
2.
I made with Stephanie Fulton.
Yeah. So we'll have some quilts on display if you're going to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Again, that's on March 14th through the 16th. That is at the I think that's Dallas Market Hall, if I remember correctly. So if you're going to be in the area for that, make sure to check those out. And then we are planning on being at the Three Rivers Quilt Show.
What day is that?
That's April 5th.
Okay, good. I was going to be like, I hope it wasn't the 22nd. No, plans.
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, that'll be outside of Philly or Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. So
that's a 4-hour drive.
I know.
But I said we would go.
I know. So we're planning on it.
It'll be that Saturday because that's the last day of the show.
Right. Yeah. And that's the day that I have 2 quilts in that show.
I have none. Because I didn't mail off my registration form on time, and that's okay. Yes, it is outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
We're coming to Pittsburgh. Have you ever been to Pittsburgh?
I passed by Pittsburgh as I was making my way here.
Oh, yeah. You went around the outside.
I went up top, so.
Zaza said, you were definitely working for that gravy that was in your beard tonight. You're doing a great job as your PA.
I'm trying. Got it. There's so many things that are going on and happening and trying to keep everything.
I gotta say, I know I don't always join you on your live streams on Sundays, but quite honestly, your space is so small. I don't know where I would be, Ian.
Yeah.
I would be in the way.
Yep.
But for you to be here, it's a different story.
Yep.
It's a different story. And you're always welcome to do your live stream from here, but all of your stuff
Is
is there,
in there.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so it just doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
So I'll go back to one more spoiler alert that I'm going to give all of you. Our podcast location is going to change.
Yeah, it is. It is.
We are going to do that from, I don't know where, but we are going to do the podcast recording from Ian's place. We're going to set it up a little bit differently.
Yep.
It gives us more of the two of us being in his space instead of him always coming to me.
Yep.
We've definitely heard you loud and clear. Not that you guys don't mind us together here. You just like us together. But we have got some of those, why don't you go to Ian's, Becca? Why don't you go to Ian's? Well, now this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to go to his for the podcast. He will come here for occasional Friday nights. And maybe once in a while, he'll be here for a Sunday. So.
Yep.
So.
Yep. That space, I mean, I love the space. I love the space that it's been set up, that y'all helped me set up and everything, but it is just so, like, one person
small.
is a lot.
It is a lot. It fits you comfortably, but it is very cozy.
Yep.
There's not really a lot of room to put a second chair. We did that.
We did that for
Rachel.
Rachel's.
And
Yep.
it was like there was no way you were going to sew with me sitting there.
No, absolutely not. No.
So.
Yep.
All right, Ian, it is a little bit after 9:30. I think I'm going to call it a night and just sit and hang out with you since you've been sick and need company.
Sounds good. I like that.
Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget, vote for my quilt, please.
I'm going to put that.
Sewing Machines Festival, Sewing Machines plus Quilt Virtual Quilt Fest. You can look for it on Google. The quilt is called X-Cluted, or you can just search for my name, Becca, and it should show up. Next week I will be live. Don't know what I'll be doing, but I would like to be able to show you at least this quilt top finished, maybe even fully quilted. So we'll see.
Yes, the blog comes out tomorrow.
The block comes out tomorrow. The pattern is already available on the website. The video will drop tomorrow at 10 a.m. and podcast coming soon. Anything you want to share with the group?
Have a good night, everyone.
You'll be live Sunday, yes?
Yeah, I'll be live Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Send us stamps and envelopes if you want the stickers.
Let us know if you want both.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.